I give it to you. I give it to you, Dance and Ryan. Welcome to our first newest video. We're gonna be continuing on a lot from last time. The video I made recently got a number of like comments to it, right? And I exposed this bro, right? A fraud, right? He even deletes criticism of his work on his pages now. And I got some really crazy, interesting things. I want to look into him. Yes, basically what I'm doing is giving this guy exposure. I'm giving this buffoon exposure. I've exposed this guy in October of 2025. You all remember that. Crazy video, right? So they go by Dante Zimmerman. I want to tell you, not only does this guy has removed lots of his pages since then or wiped them out, he no longer puts the links to the thing. Remember that video where I showed that there were links to his pages back in the day when he was openly doing all of this fraud open out in the bright daylight because nobody was going to question it? Well, I did, and my video got traction, and I got lovely comments from people with brains, right, who were like, yeah, I can see why this guy sucks. Good intentions, but horrifying end results. This does not end up with all of you being seen as human beings. You are merely money for his wallet and his fraud scheme. It's obviously him posing. Now that I have evidence that he deletes comments, that you guys go over there, you go to my video, and you guys masquerade over to his comments saying you use AI and you suck. And so that this video stays monetized and YouTube doesn't take it down, I'm gonna try not using lots of curse words this time. And I want to get into this thing that I saw on this page here. So we have Dante Zimmerman. I've criticized this guy. You all masqueraded there, yada yada. He has credits on 188 releases under the play name DYSMN. This scumbag released this many songs within 2 years. No person in a right of mind, right, who looks at this and says this is okay, is sane in the head. Nobody can make that many songs in that short period of time, unless you're a rapper who, uses samples. Maybe that's so. But full songs with solos and breakdowns and instrumental mixes and changes and maybe a few side switches and so in there, songs coming out this fast. This Rabunskin is on this platform called Muse AI. And they're credited on several things that I need to show you that I feel might interest you, because they happen to be one of the top 1% of producers on Muso.ai and is one of the top 1% of guitarist users on Muso.ai. Not only is that, lots of the merch that used to exist on their merch platform doesn't even exist anymore. It's gone. The man's wiped out isn't a lot of his merch. It's still around. He still has his entire merch around. He still has this. He still has the latest on YouTube. He still has this. And you even have this newsletter, for whenever the stuff gets released and stuff, right? He still has the merch line. One difference is everything that used to be there is not there. Covering your tracks, or maybe he just doesn't care. Maybe he released them. Maybe it's just something he did, right? Nobody in the right of mind deletes their merchandise like that, and unless there's something specific that got it to be that way. Because then I checked the other merch store that they have called DSMYM merch, Printified at Me. This is a logo that DSMN would use, right? They would use logos like this. It is definitely them. I had to make sure that this is something that they would do, which is all this AI generated crap that they do. Now, I also found this, right? I looked into this, and you find DSMYX, right? You find posts like this. They've completely abandoned this account. This account that you see here is abandoned. It's just, there are no posts on here of them trying to say that, hey guys, look into my music. You just get a link to his YouTube channel and when they join. Nothing else, right? And then my video, which definitely got traction now, which is almost 1,000 views, which has 41 likes, which, by the way, is quite rare because most of my videos that get this many views do not usually have this like count ratio compared to dislikes. I can see the dislikes too, which is insane. I exposed this guy, and then I received comments saying, okay, this, maybe you're a little overkill, but maybe you have a point, right? And so people discussed it with me in the comments. Maybe I did a few replies and maybe some stand tried to defend this guy, and then kind of folded and said, you know what, Viz, you got a point. And then some people were like, no, I absolutely agree with your take, Viz, right? The Projecttian, by the way, I've been at this for 8 years, so not a noob at this. And the people said, you have a point. There are all of these red flags, and I had some insider knowledge from commenters telling me that in a Discord server for DYSMN, not, I just butchered that, I'm sorry, that this idiot basically saying, hey, if you're an actual creator and an artist, you can suck my Swedish meatballs. He basically doesn't like actual creators. He's like, oh, AI is the future, you can suck it up, right? He's basically an AI stan. And in his Discord server, he's also an AI stan, right? He basically says, you can do this, you can do that, I don't care, I want money, I really do not care. And I'm like, okay, interesting. And then the comments keeps telling me that he's definitely wiped out links, pages, and sources around his name. I had to literally check myself when I went over to his Royal Road profile for DYSMN, right? And he was last active on this site since 4 a.m. at January 18, 2006. This man no longer has fictions listed underneath his name. It is like, I don't see anything underneath his name under his profile. All of the reviews, favorites, and threads and posts are like this. See, it says right here, awarded for achieving 25,000 total views on a single fiction. Awarded for reaching 10 followers for a single fiction. Awarded for publishing at least 20,000 words. His fictions were around, and he completely wiped out his fictions. They're gone. He wiped them out. They're not even there anymore. Like, he wiped out this, he wiped out this. This is gone. Maybe he couldn't afford it to keep it up. Maybe he just removed it optionally, but I don't see it. I'm totally on a VPN at the moment, so everything should be up and running. But he's deleted everything. Look, this is the only thing that exists of this merch. This is the only thing that's left. He doesn't have everything. And then he's also on Muser.ai, trying to get himself positions up here. And then, of course, I'm not going to be paying for this service, but he's listed as guitarist, producer, bassist, and having connections with production company. And then here's the actual profile for DYSMN, with it saying that he's top 1% of artists and top 50% of engineers. This guy is not an engineer, right? He is not an engineer. And he's using this popularity on this AI platform to gather followers and traction. Meanwhile, all of this has been going on. Since the release of this video, I wanted to tell people that if you want to know more about what I think about DYSMN, join a Discord server. I had actual people come from the video and actually join the server to intellectually discuss this, because this is like a huge problem with not only this, because right now DSOIM is one of the more passive AI stands, right? He is passive. He's not aggressively trying to, stop me in my tracks or aggressively hiding his stuff. It is so clear, bright as day. He is deleting stuff and hiding stuff and privating stuff and trying to not show it around publicly as confidently anymore because of this one video, so you all know, that doesn't even have 1,000 views. If my video of 900 views can get this man to like swindle and delete his stuff and private his stuff after I made only one video on this man, right? One video. If it took only that, he's definitely panicked and started gatekeeping his presence and trying to capture his viewers while he still has dignity left and a reputation of great kinds, because he is deleting comments criticizing his content and his fake songs, which aren't real songs, right? He's using lots of AI assistants in order to pull them off. Those are abominations. I can't play any of them on here because I'm afraid the YSMN might copyright strike this channel or copyright claim one of my videos. So, and I also tried not to curse throughout this video so that people can watch this video in front of their parents. So, you don't panic all the time. I've been saying some really crazy stuff on my videos, but, I'm feeling great today and I don't need to curse to prove a point. I don't need an AI to type in my answers for me and list it down. I think with how long I've been on this platform, haven't exposed someone so consistently, right? And then all of you did your own investigations and then even talked to me about your investigations. I'm quite proud of what has been produced after only one video. My issue, there's not enough voice on DYSMN being exposed. There's only a bunch of, I'll admit, losers only exposing this guy. I'm one of the only ones who has a decent following with a brain that isn't saying because DYSMN sucks because I said so. I'm not saying that stuff. There's a lot of channels that are doing that are just saying I hate DYSMN because everybody said so. That is not a formal way of saying you dislike somebody. Clearly, that is DYSMN is keeping his community very isolated and trying to make sure everybody that only says yes stays with DYSMN. That is what they're doing. They're fostering this type of community. So all I can say is this, is that I can go back in this video where I remember opening one of their stories here. And you can see this, right? This was Arc the House. And then this is a different page. I can find this. Just watch. I'm gonna go right here. This is called, created by Don Juan Von, the Shattered Plains. This was something that they would use. So we're gonna search this out. World Anvil. World Anvil. This is an RPG builder type of thing. Okay. World Anvil, the Shattered Plains. We're gonna do that. The Shattered Plains. So right here. It's gone. It's gone. Subscribe for more, by the way. If you haven't subscribed, I'm just saying you should probably do it. Look at this. It's gone. It's not even here anymore. Look, I opened different links. Shattered Plains. Gone. Deleted. Guys, what do you think? If anybody watches this video, leave down some comments. I would love some comments. What do you think? Does this look fishy? There's no way I could have bullied DYSMN off the platform. He's still clearly making money. He has contact emails. He's on a platform for AI generalists. He's posting confidently. He's made a Discord server and he's deleted merch. He's abandoned certain accounts. And he's still popular and active on certain places. I think what I'm getting here is that you're an actual friendly coward. DYSMN. The next time you try to educate me about how metal music works in the comments, my comments, and I would allow creators, I will allow your comments to continue to be there. Send me all the hate, please do. I want you to publicly shame yourself without me even trying. But the next time you try to educate me about metal music, you should probably look up your sources and learn what locker room mode is. What is a chord progression? Exactly, you probably don't know. But, you're going to use your AI to search this up and try to educate me with an AI-generated response. But, you didn't. At least, I'll give you credit. You send me your own words when you dissed me on my comment section. For a YouTuber like you who has 80,000 subscribers, which is around say, 4 some certain amount of times more subscribers than I have, I'd say even I'm impressed that you have released a number of songs within 2 years, and yet I've made more songs than you did. That is insane. For once, I'm producing songs faster than a person with AI. Isn't that insane? I'm producing faster than a guy with AI on their side. They could have produced maybe 30 songs in one day. They produced another 30. But, DYSMN is carefully doing this. You notice that? Anybody notice that? He's carefully posting them a lot more slowly recently, but it's still impossibly fast. If anybody picks up on my note, I post lots of songs and people often don't question what I make because I genuinely make the music I make. But we are in 2026 where fellows like DYSMN tries to educate people on how metal works without even knowing how metal works, right? And even production. This fellow calls himself an engineer. This platform literally calls him engineer, literally, literally does. Without they don't even know how to mix. You don't know crazy fact. I checked their music. You can listen to it by its. Yes, I'm promoting them. I am. I'm giving them exposure, but listen to their music mixes. Listen to the mix of their songs. It's garbage. Exactly. It's insane, insane. And you know how much it took me to learn how to mix music? If anybody has done their research on me, it took me around 3 years to learn how to mix music, and let's say over 5 years to learn how to master my own songs because I've gotten super proficient with it. So with that said, DYSMN, if this video continues to further destroy your reputation, this is solely based on the actions you have taken so far to only consistently fraud yourself and destroy criticism of your IP. That this one's on you, right? Here's my advice, because I'm so somebody who is somewhat compassionate left in 2026 where the world now considers facts as a form of harassment, right? Draw your own art. If you truly love music, drop the AI. Drop the AI. Find a guy out there in the garage who loves guitars, right? And plays a guitar. Ask him, hey, can I make music? Look, hey, we can make music. I got 80K subscribers. Use that to sell yourself out to people and say, hey guys, look, I got followers. I need a guitarist. Ask for a guitarist out there. You most likely, if I'm right, you live in a certain place in the world, which I'm not going to say on YouTube because I feel like I'm going to get targeted for promoting criminal violence. So you live in a certain world where there's lots of people around you. I feel you can draw art by yourself as well. If you love this avatar, which I've seen DYSM embrace, is this made character with pink hair and this like thick eyelashes and grim reaperish type of thing, which is what Mori Calliope does unironically. If you really like this character, why don't you draw her yourself? The 80K subscribers and the merch that you're selling, I don't know if you're getting money from it, but if you clearly have extra money on yourself or your body and your whatever job you work at, you probably can just pay somebody to commission artwork for you and then tell them, hey, commission an artwork. If you have a new album coming soon, commission another artwork ahead of time, just in case you think it's going to take forever. Commission ahead of time 2 album artworks ahead of time and pre-plan it along the way. This is something I do myself when I make music. I always make album covers for like 2 to 3 albums over before I even make songs for those albums that are just album covers until I give them purpose. This is just my advice. They don't need AI. No AI for your songs. Drop it. No AI for your art and for your cover art. Drop it. It's easy. You only need to fill in a square 1:1 ratio of an artwork. Anything will work. Anything. If you can't drop AI, okay, your cover art is tolerable, but your music is not tolerable. Music is so much more active and more energetic than looking at an artwork. The artwork is to sell it, right? It's a display. The music part is what bugs me. Drop the AI music. It is not music. I stand by. Alright. Stay safe out there. I don't need to say anything else. If you want more clarification, join the Discord server. We had people from my last video exposing this dimwit join the Discord server after I told them to. People actually listening to what I have to tell them is so insane, right? Join the Discord server. Stop questioning it. If you're like, I want answers, ask me. We don't if you're an AI generalist yourself and you feel scared of questioning me, don't feel scared. No. If DYSMN can question me, you can question me too. I'm not banning you unless you're sending a bunch of phishing links and adult content in my Discord server and the gore and stuff, right? If you do that, then I will ban you. But criticism, absolutely. Send me your criticism, but I want you to type it with your brain. Don't AI generate it like I see most people have done. Just, I want to hear you, yourself, tell me this. I think you're wrong. Absolutely. Tell me why. Then go down in my comments. Go in a Discord server. Send me the paragraphs of saying why I'm wrong. Let's debate. I'm not against people debating me. If you are irrationally debating me, it is totally okay. Now, I'm gonna end it here. What do you say about me? What do you say about Saidi? Been at this for 8 years. My name is Viz / in the Projecttian. I've been at this for 8 years. The role where facts are considered a form of harassment. Protest peacefully. Know your rights. F Trump. We don't like Trump. Destroy MAGA. Replace all the AI stands. Turn them into AI generalists. All this crazy cool things. Share peace. Show love, kindness, and agreement. We need rational discussion to come back. And don't do stupid things. Don't do violence. Not the answer. You're just going to bring more violence with violence. And that's all I have to say. You're welcome.